Hey guys, Stephanie Homeyer coming to you here at the corporate headquarters of Techdemics we've got Marissa Romero and we've got Amber Lee here. We wanted to come on here and offer you guys some value, answer any of your questions that you might have, whether it pertains to Shopify or Facebook, or even if you have questions about print on demand or anything in the e-commerce space. We are here for you guys. So let's just go ahead and wait for some people to pop on, and we'll start answering your guys' questions.
Awesome.
Let's see. What's up, Ronnie? There's Elvire. Hey, Elvire. Great to see you, too.
That's a cool name.
Elvire's awesome. So what we're going to do today, again, for those of you who are just now joining us, we are live here at Techdemics headquarters, and we are going to be answering your questions with it pertains to anything in e-commerce space, if that's print on demand, Facebook ads, even Instagram ads, anything that you guys may be having a little bit of a challenge with. We are in day 72, so there's been a ton of training that you guys have been provided with, and we just want to, you want us to be louder? Jim's like, why are you all so quiet?
We were waiting for people to come on.
Oh, there's a delay.
That's funny.
Hey, Bobby. All right. How the Pixel, okay. Amber, would you like to answer this one? Elvira would like for you to explain more about pixels. How many can you have? Every Facebook Ads Manager has its own pixel, so which one do you use and when?
Okay, so typically you want to do ads out of one Facebook Manager, depending on how many stores you have. So, and niches. So it can get kind of complicating. So let's start simple. Let's say that you have a general store, okay? With the new pixel update, you do want to have one pixel for each niche. Now, let's say that you typically run like clothing, or you just run shoes, or you just run like one type of product. That in itself could be a niche, even if you're running that to different categories, say like you have shoes for animals, shoes for movies. As long as you're doing shoes, you can use one pixel on that. So I say start with something simple. So pick like I'm going to do shirts, or I'm going to do shoes, or if you're going to do an AliExpress item, then stick within one niche. That way you can use one ad account and you can use that pixel. Now, you are correct. If you set up different ad accounts, you have different pixels. You can use as many pixels as you want. You can put several pixels in your store. There are different ways to do that, so you typically can use as many pixels as you want. I would say to start with one niche or one type of item that you're going to be selling, and build it up from there. But yeah, but if you want to use several of them, you can, and the way that you choose what pixel you're going to use is depending on what you're selling and the niche that you're using.
Great explanation. What do you get to keep your pixel once your ads account is shut down?
If your ads account is shut down, if you did not share that pixel, you can take that pixel and you could share it on another account. I don't necessarily know if you can do that once it's shut down though. So I typically will have, I typically will have about 2 or 3 accounts at one time, but I'm only using one. So the main one that I'm using, I will take that pixel and share it on another ad account, just in case that one ad account gets shut down. I already have that pixel shared on another ad account.
All right. Great explanation. Marissa, Jean would like to know, what is your strategy to test products?
Okay, so my current strategy to test new products, whether it's in a new niche or not, is to do $5 with PPE, and to launch that at the same time as doing $5 two different types of conversions. One is view content and one is add to cart. So what it would look like is you have a PPE campaign that you launch for $5, and then you at the same time launch two conversion campaigns, one being view content and one being add to cart. And the reason you want to do that is because it gives your product, or I'm sorry, your Facebook advertising dollars a better opportunity to see which type of campaign is working best with that new product. So let's say it's view content, you're getting the best conversion rate for views, and let's say you get your first sale within 48 hours on view content, then you know what you want to do is scale up your view content campaign. So you know, it kind of gives you the opportunity to pick one of the campaigns when you're doing this testing on a new product and scale it up. And then you could turn the other ones off that hadn't performed well within those first 48 hours.
And then how much would you increase your budget once you found a winning product?
10 to 20%. Yeah. And so increase it 10 to 20%, and then one helpful metric we learned recently was a nice sweet spot is to get 6 to 10 sales first before scaling up. So, yeah.
Very cool. All right, so I think that answered a couple of people's questions. Looks like a lot of you have questions in regards to the Pixel and multiple audiences, things like that. Does it hurt your Pixel to advertise in multiple audiences, for examples like music lovers and fishing lovers? It doesn't necessarily hurt it, but it will help Facebook for the Pixel to become a little more seasoned once you've found a winning product. So once you have a winning product, say you launch out first with but yeah, the Lovers product is you're starting to get a lot of purchases on that, or a lot of activity on that. Then you may want to scale back on the fishing and maybe put that on a different Pixel. Would you agree on that, Amber?
Yeah, I would. I will say with the new Pixel, it used to not hurt it at all, but with the new Pixel updates, I am hearing from a lot of people that it actually will confuse your Pixel now. Facebook is helping you to optimize for one niche at a time. So like I said, you don't want to put different niches on there, but if you're doing just a shoe store, then you're okay using one Pixel, because Facebook is making judgments and putting your products in front of people based on how people who buy shoes make decisions. And so Facebook feels like people who buy shoes, no matter what niche it's in, is going to have the same type of behaviors. So you're okay there. But yeah, I would say that it does, and I would be really careful with that. I wouldn't put a whole bunch of different niches on one Pixel right now.
No.
Yeah, and another thing that I learned within the past couple of days is it confused me for a while what niche meant in regards to Pixel behavior, and what I've concluded, at least for the latest activity of how the Pixel works, is a niche kind of just means like jewelry or shoes or custom clothes, print on demand. And so once your pixel once your pixel is seasoned a specific niche, not necessarily like yoga versus golfing, but once it's seasoned for jewelry versus shoes, then that's when it performs at its best. So you can have yoga shoes, you can have golf shoes, and different niche shoes, but it's under the umbrella of shoes, and your pixel reads the best with the behaviors of people buying shoes in your store. So if that helps, it's not so much the specific niches within the types of products you're doing. It's more of what niche you're doing, whether it's, you know, clothes, jewelry, shoes, print on demand, whatever it may be.
Great. There's two more questions about pixels. So one with Michelle, and we'll just kind of group together with Jennifer's, is about Chris being very adamant in regards to 1 pixel per store. Will there be a training on installing multiple pixels onto a general store? So there's a lot. Here's the thing, guys. Everyone's going to have a different way of doing things for whatever worked for them. There are multiple ways to have pixels on your store, whether that be 1 or multiples. When you first start out, you do want to have 1 pixel on your store. There's a way that you can share your pixel from another account onto your store as well to help it become more seasoned. Now, Amber, you've done this before. Would you mind sharing with others on how you did that instead of us doing, you know, another full training on just installing multiple pixels? What would be your best advice, especially for some of you? We noticed on here that some of you are new at the 72 days. Maybe you're on day 1, and so we don't want to confuse anyone here. But your simplified version of having more than 1 pixel on a store.
So there's 3 ways to put a pixel in your store. You can put it in the code, the HTML code. You can get an app, or you can put it in the preference that is in your setting, or if you go to your online store, it's the very last option at the bottom. It says preference. You just take your pixel and put it in there. Okay, you can put 1 in there. You can also get apps. I've used Trackified. I've used Pixel Perfect. And you can put that app on your store. Those both cost, I think they're only like $10 or something, but they do cost. You can it's really simple. You go into the settings of the app, you put your pixel in there. You can also put your pixel in the code. The code is a little bit more difficult because you need several codes to be able to track all of the events. So it is a little bit more difficult, but we do have we have a Bitly link for that. So we'll put it in there on this thread for you all at the end. But you can put the pixel in there as well. That's as simple as it gets, guys. And I really would not worry about doing several pixels on your store if you are a beginner. That is pretty advanced stuff, and you really don't need it. I would say focus on your store. Focus on a couple of the same type of products, like Marissa said, jewelry or shoes or print on demand, apparel, things like that. I would focus on that and build your pixel up, and then you can think about putting other pixels on your store for maybe you want to go into a different niche or you want to do something else, and that's fine, but just keep it as simple as possible. You don't need several pixels on your store. But yeah.
And could you tell them the benefit of putting your pixel in an app, like a Trackify or Pixel Perfect, versus
like putting
just
it
having
in the
it
code
in your preference?
or having it in your preferences?
Yeah, so basically it tracks all of your events. So this gets a little advanced, but when you're doing a conversion ad, okay, you're tracking for events. So you want Facebook to tell you when people either view your content, add your product to cart, or purchase. Okay, what happens is the pixel itself, the app itself will track all those events. It also tracks when you start to get into custom conversions. You can create your own custom conversion events so that Facebook can tell you when someone takes a specific product in your store and adds it to cart or purchases or lands on a specific URL in your store. So you can get very specific on the type of events, and the pixel itself will track those events. It goes very in depth, the apps with the pixel. So that's why I do recommend getting the apps, but this is just me. You can put it in the preference, and actually Shopify has updated their preference, and it actually tracks the events really, really well now. But I do recommend the apps as well, just because it gives you more in depth when you start to get a little bit more advanced and want to track for different specific events within your store.
That's a great point. Okay, so The next one is, what is the best tip? Michelle Davis has a question here. What is the best tips for opening another ad account if your Facebook account gets shut down? How long should you wait before setting up a new ads account and running an ad?
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
If you're in business, and your account gets shut down, it's like if you were in business and your, God forbid, your company got set on fire, had a fire. I mean, you're going to try to get it up as soon as possible. It's not going to hurt you to go into your business manager and set up a new ad account. Typically, in the beginning, you can set up 3 to 5 at a time, and then once you have your business account longer, you can set up more ad accounts. So if one gets shut down, if it was me, I would immediately go try to set up another ad account and run ads through there, if it was me. But I like to be in business.
And then even if you have no issues with having an ad account shut down right now, and let's say you only have 2 ad accounts open, and I think most people starting out in Business Manager, Facebook Business Manager, they're not able to have more than 2 new ad accounts at first, just because you haven't spent that much money and Facebook doesn't know you yet. But once you spend a certain amount, you can open a lot of ad accounts. So when you are able to access a couple more ad accounts, just open them just so that they're there. So if something does happen, you can easily transition that same day.
Okay, that's really great points. Jennifer, when exactly did the change with the Facebook pixel occur? Facebook has been doing a lot of updates for the past, like 2 months now.
Well, the big one was May 20th.
Yeah, the really big one was May 20th, and then they had another one over this weekend doing with Power Editor, and they've done another one. Oh, the server. Okay, are we there? Okay, just make sure it's not lagging over there. We had a little bit of an error there, guys. We apologize. So Facebook is going to continuously be updating their interfaces as well, the complete platform. They want you to have a better experience as an advertiser, as well as they want their customers to have a better experience. So you'll see updates happening, and you'll notice either a decrease in your sales or even an increase sometimes. So, or you'll even see things change when you go to create an ad. You're going to see new things pop up, just like when I had done a training last week, it was on creating custom audiences and how some people's ads account looked the old way, and then others had been upgraded to the new interface. So you will see updates because Facebook, again, they're always on the cutting edge of improving the all-around experience of their customers. That's you and their members. So that's what I have to say about that. What is the point? Do you start duplicating a PPE ad into a view content and add to cart? What is the rule of thumb for what is considered a successful PPE ad? Marissa?
I don't do it that way.
You don't do it that way. Okay. Because you do them together.
Yeah, I do them together. So, and I've never duplicated a PPE ad before. But I just haven't. But
right.
Yeah,
you could.
I typically am like Marissa. I would run a PPE and a WC together. But if you have a lower budget and you need to run like one at a time, that's fine. I would say once your PPE started getting some engagement, I mean, you can look. I typically start my ads running at like 12 a.m. So when I wake up in the morning, I can typically look at something and see if it's going to catch on. I'm very impatient. Some people will tell you to wait 24 to 48 hours. If I'm looking at something and it hasn't caught on and started to go, at least got like a few shares and some likes and some comments. Because here's the thing, guys, when you're putting out a PPE ad, you're telling Facebook to go find people that are going to engage on your post. So they're putting this in front of people who like to click like, who like to comment, and who like to share. This is their normal activity on Facebook, okay? So if you put something in front of these people and you're not getting any likes, comments, or shares, it's probably not a good ad. Either it's a product that don't really care about, so your targeting was off, or two, your ad just isn't eye-catching enough for them to stop and click. Okay, so if that is the case, I typically only need about 12 to 24 hours to see that, so I would turn it off. If it's starting to get some engagement and some shares, then I would definitely say go ahead and duplicate it and make it into a view content.
Well, you have experience with this, right?
Oh, yeah,
What do you-
absolutely.
What do you do?
So my rule of thumb is 10%. So if I'm getting engagement, I also look at what was my reach.
Okay.
What was my reach, and did I get at least 10% of that? So if I've got 1,000 people, I want 100 people to have done any sort of reaction, whether that's, they thumbs up, they laughed, or they, hearted it, whatever. So if I'm not getting that within 7 hours,
Yeah.
I watch it, because sometimes even when Facebook approves your ad, it doesn't start to get viewed for at least 4
3
hours.
hours,
Yeah,
yeah.
3-4 hours. And so I'll wait about
Yeah.
10, or I'll do about 10%. And then if it's not seeing any traction within 7 hours, I'm done.
That's a good
Yeah.
rule of thumb.
And then the view content is running them congruently is something that I recently learned when you guys all started here. So I thought that's a really cool way, because what I would do is the PPE, if it's got 10% of the engagement, then I will duplicate it and run a view content.
Yep.
And then just go through the steps.
Yeah, and then the other thing that just popped into my mind about PPE is you could even, I want to do this where the audience is worldwide, and it would be cool, and that's cool because it opens up the gateways to have a lot more engagement because it is worldwide, but also you can see what countries are clicking, which you may not ever know, and if they're a viable, or if they have a good mailing system, that there's safe countries to mail to, that would probably be a good indicator of what you can target in a conversion campaign. So you can take those countries and target specifically to them. So that may be worthwhile to try out worldwide for PPE as well.
So that brings, since we're on this subject, have you guys ever launched a PPE ad and a view content together and gotten more traction with the view content than you did with the PPE?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Just so people know that it's not always all about just the PPE ad.
Yeah.
You can get, like even on mine right now, I'm getting so much more on view content than on my PPE.
And here's the thing too, like engagement's great, but engagement is not going to make you money. Okay, likes, shares, and comments is not going to make you money. What that does is that gets your ad in front of more people. It makes Facebook show it to more people so that it's leveraged, basically. So you're getting more eyeballs on your stuff, and that's the name of the game when you're doing advertising. The view content is actually getting people into your store. So we're looking... Okay, so we're still on. So you're looking at two different things. So sometimes I'll have a PPE and a view content running at the same time, and that may not have a lot of engagement on my post, but I'm getting add to carts and sales. Okay, so there's different things that you want to look at. All right, so that's
All right. That's great. So,
Can I start a conversion ad with a new pixel?
yes.
Can I start a conversion ad with a new pixel? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would say me and Marissa, before the update, were going straight to purchase. We were just doing website conversion purchase. I would not suggest that right now at all, because after the update, I would say add to cart is getting more for me than anything else, is doing an add to cart with a PPE next to it. But yeah, definitely you can do a conversion. It's just that your pixel isn't very seasoned, so Facebook's kind of guessing with the people that they're putting in front of. So I would definitely, if you're going to do a conversion ad, I would definitely run a PPE next to it.
Very
And
cool.
let me clarify, when we say that we're running a PPE ad next to a conversion ad, what we're saying is that we're taking a PPE ad and a conversion ad and we're running it to the same page post. Okay, so we have a PPE ad that we're asking Facebook to get engagement on our post, and then we have a website conversion ad, let's say it's view content, running to that same post, and we're asking Facebook to put it in front of people that will click on our link and go to our Facebook, or go to our product to view our content. So I just want to clarify, that's what we mean when we say running next to.
And are you running them to the same ad set?
No. No, you have to do different ads. You have to do different campaigns with a PPE and a conversion, because those are two different objectives. So you're doing them in two different campaigns, okay? But you're running them to the same exact post, and you pick that in the ad section.
Okay, very cool. And then what would be your audience sizes? What would be the difference? Like, let's say you have the same interests. Let's say you have the same interests for the PPE and then the view content. How would you scale that back in order to fit into a conversion?
I typically do the exact same audience. Well, I will say this. I would do worldwide with the PPE, but I would just do just the countries that I'm selling to in the conversion. So that's how I scale back. I don't change the interest. I use the same interest.
Okay, cool. All right, well, how common is it for an ads account to get shut down? Well, it's not, as long as you follow the Facebook policies, rules, it's not very common. However, what I have seen in the past week, I don't know if you guys have seen this as well, is a lot of people have been getting their ads account shut down, or their ads even getting denied, and they're not able to do that. What that is, or what we've found, is that that's a bot. Facebook bot is reading that maybe there's something within your ad, maybe a term that you're using, or maybe a call to action that the bot doesn't like. What I would recommend is to appeal it, and to also send in an email to Facebook support saying, hey, I don't know why my account got shut down. What policy did I violate? These are legitimate products, or, hey, I am following your rules. Please let me know how I can reinstate my account. You can word it however you'd like. The point is that you want to reach out to them and take action, because I would say 100% of the people that have done that we have helped in the classes have been getting their accounts turned back on within a few hours. And Facebook has been really great about their customer service, has totally stepped it up, and they're getting back to people within the same day. So make sure that you're really proactive on that if your accounts get shut down. They'll let you know if it's their final decision or not.
Exactly.
If it was them or if it was just the bot.
See, to open as many ad accounts on Facebook can be done in just one Facebook account, or do I have to open a different Facebook accounts to open more ad accounts? Okay, so you have a business manager that houses all of your ad accounts. Typically, in a new business manager, you can have about 2 ad accounts, and then it goes up to 5. So you can house as many as Facebook will let you open, but you're not housing it in like your Facebook account. It's in a business manager.
Yep. All right, is there a possibility to transfer a pixel from the main ad account to a Facebook business account profile?
I don't understand.
Michael, could you type in your question again, so we could understand that a little more clearly?
What do you mean by main ad account and Facebook business account?
I think he means
Personal?
Oh, yeah.
Could he mean personal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can, I don't know how you do that, because I know you can only share within the business manager.
to business manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. So Eric, but the only possibility to duplicate a PBE ad into I wish I could keep the targeting the same, but don't pixel data will not transfer since it optimizes the ad set level.
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate the ad set, Eric. You're going to duplicate the ad set, and then Facebook, I usually do it in the Power Editor. Facebook is going to ask you, do you want to use the original campaign, an existing campaign, or a new campaign? You just want to click New Campaign. So that ad set is going to duplicate at the ad set level and then create a new campaign for it and then a new ad for it, but you're still keeping that optimization on that ad set.
Awesome.
Girl power. That's right, Damien.
Yeah, thanks, Damien.
Need some Irish power.
And Cindy.
Right?
Awesome. All right, guys. These are all really great questions. Hopefully this is offering a ton of value to you guys, and you guys are going to go out there and rock it with the Facebook ads this week. Let's see. Do you have any more questions coming through there?
Hey, Robert.
Yeah. Robert Nava
I
in
don't
the house.
know what's
Okay, here we go.
recent.
Here's Dee. Dee Barlow. Hey, Dee.
Hey, D. If I run my PPE ad worldwide and run my conversion ad to the U.S. only, is that hurting my sales as I'm not getting any sales? Should I run my PPE ad to the U.S. as I'm only getting sales to the U.S.? Your PPE ad is not for you to make sales. It's just for you to get engagement. It doesn't hurt for it to be worldwide. Except, okay, here's the thing. People say different things. Some people like to run it to worldwide because they like to get that engagement really quick, which you will on a worldwide. Two, people say when you're going worldwide, you're sending wrong data to the pixel because you're sending data to some countries that you can't sell to or won't sell to. So that to me is a personal preference. I know Robert Nava teaches that he doesn't use worldwide. So D, if you're having that issue, yeah, why don't you try running it just to the U.S. itself? Because maybe your U.S. demographic isn't interested in the product. So to test that, I would probably duplicate that PPE and run it to the U.S. and see if you're getting engagement on that. If you are, then you know that your U.S. demographic is interested in it. If you're not, then I would test some other countries.
Yep, absolutely. I like running it worldwide because it totally gives me the data.
Yeah.
And I can see, on one of mine, I saw Brazil was one of them.
Oh, nice.
And would have known that if I only ran to the U.S.
Right.
So sometimes it's very beneficial to use worldwide. Other times it may not be, especially if you're only going to be shipping to the U.S. It just really all depends on your own your store's model.
Yeah. And then Amber, you had said something like, when interpreting the question, like they thought that maybe running worldwide would give you the wrong data and mess up the pixel, but really it's giving you data.
Yeah.
Any data is good data. So it just always will give you something to work off of.
And I typically, like, if you don't want to do worldwide, I will say this, I never do like a PPE just to one country. I'll always at least either do worldwide or the Big Five.
Yeah, the Big Five.
The Big Five. That's Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United States, and United Kingdom.
Yep. Those ones I do as well. Those are good. Those are the ones that Chris teaches a lot on, because you can definitely verify that their credit cards are good there. There's
Right.
not a ton of fraud there. Are you seeing a difference in conversions between 500K audience sizes or a 2 million? That, for me, the differences that I have seen is all depending on your budget. So, if you've got, a $20 budget, they may be able to reach more on 2 million. Whereas if you're doing $5 a day, they may still be able to reach a ton on 500. It really just depends on how targeted your audience is, as well as your budget.
Yeah, I kind of go with my feeling for the day there.
Yeah.
When I'm setting up the ad, if sometimes 300,000 feels great to me. Sometimes 2.1 million feels good.
Yep.
I am kind of weird there. I just go with whatever feels good at the moment.
Yeah.
On those.
All right.
You typically like the bigger audiences, don't you?
Yeah.
Not right now.
No, you like the small. Okay.
No,
See, it
yeah.
just depends.
My comfort zone is between 500,000 and $1 million for a conversion ad.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very
it
cool.
really goes, because I know in the beginning she liked the bigger audiences, you were doing 1 to 2 million, right?
Well, yeah. Well, that's when the pixel was really hot with the niche I was doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
yeah.
she liked the
Then go as big as you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, so let's pick a few more. And here's some people we haven't gotten to. Is there another country that you can target other than America, according to my experience from a country? Okay, we just mentioned
answered
those.
that.
Okay. And then once you can do a lookalike audience, will your sales increase rapidly?
Yes, they will. They definitely will. I would say to try to get to lookalike as quick as possible. That's why I like to I like to kind of get aggressive with my ads and build, especially if I'm doing like a new ad account, I like to build my pixel as quick as possible because I like to get to lookalikes within the first 7 days. But that's me. I have a bigger budget, so don't necessarily worry about that. But once you can get to lookalikes, yes, definitely.
Jennifer.
Put in a word for us, Jennifer.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Let's see. We'll take 2 more in here because we're coming up at the top of the hour, and we just want to make sure we can get through as many questions as possible.
Should I use strictly a business account or should I use a personal one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it says, should I use strictly a business account or can I use my personal? What the difference in performance? So basically, when you're using your business account versus your business just kind of like you have a business manager, so it kind of houses everything. I was using my personal at first, and that was back when I was doing like affiliate stuff. And I would say that the business account does perform better, and it gives me. But I think it gives you more, because it gives you like more where you can go in, you can look at your pixel activity. It just gives you more reports. Yep. And I think Facebook just favors it better because you're establishing yourself as a business rather than just someone that's just throwing up ads. So I don't know if it necessarily performs better. It did for me. I don't know if that's just a fluke or whatever, but I would say to use a business manager.
Yeah, I would say to use a business manager as well. It definitely helps you to be a lot more organized. So your whole business is structured. So whether you've got your affiliate offers or you've got a couple of different stores, then you've got your pixels attached to it. I just feel that it helps it to all flow and you know exactly where all of your data is at in one place.
Exactly, because with your personal, you can only have one pixel, one ad account. It just is that account. So.
And then and my very first experience of my first ad account getting shut down, I opened it under my personal.
Right.
So then when you do that, you can't do a business.
Right.
So I mean, my recommendation, I think across the board, is business.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see.
First day, where do you advise me to go learn most of what you are talking about? So in the files section, if you want to go into the file section, or also in the pinned post in this group, you'll see all of the videos for all of the from day 1 all the way up to day 72. You'll see all the videos.
Repeat again on how to duplicate an ad set, but with a new campaign. So it depends. When I go to Power Editor, that's what I use. You guys like that?
You pretty much to do that. You pretty much have to do it in Power Editor. But it's pretty simple. That you just select the ad set you want to duplicate, and then you click duplicate, and a box pops up, and it says create a duplicate ad in the existing campaign, a new campaign, or original. And then you would select a new campaign, and then you would pick the conversion type, the objective, and then within that new ad set that's in your new campaign that you flipped it into, you can pick the event type, whether that's view content, add to cart, purchase. So, yeah,
super simple.
Yeah, and Facebook is getting even the way they word things is starting to make a lot more sense, I think. Whereas before, people were like, they had different names for things, and now it's like, oh, okay, you want to build a brand? Here, this is for brand awareness. You want to build you want to do a conversion? Here's this. You want engagement? Leads, here's this. Leads, here's this. So Facebook is definitely delivering on that as well, so it helps make a more simplified process for you guys. According to my experience, we already did that one. And let's see. Okay. Should I'm guessing, do lookalikes based off purchases? Or if we don't have enough purchases, would we use a lookalike from view page or video views?
I would not do, well, you can do lookalikes based on video views. That's fine, but I would have quite a few, like over 1,000. Probably, no, way more than that. I'm sorry,
No,
like
yeah,
over
way-
10,000 before I did a lookalike. And then with purchases, I would have like over 100. I don't, yeah, like if you're just beginning, like lookalikes.
But isn't the rule of thumb for lookalike like 100 sales in a week? That's why I've
Yes.
never done one.
Well, yeah, but you can do lookalikes based on, like, if you've had people look at your video for 10 seconds or more. So you
Oh,
could do it based on
yeah.
that. Now, if you're going to do a lookalike on a purchase, then you need 100 sales in a week. But if you're going to do it based on how many views, I would not do 3-second views on videos. I would do 10-second views. But I would have quite a bit. Like, I just did a lookalike on that, but I had 18,000 views. So you want to have quite a few views before you do that. But you definitely can, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. We'll take this one last question from Christina. What program do you like for a newsletter? So I've
You
used
write newsletters?
MailChimps, and that's what I've used is MailChimp. I know
use
there's
Aweber.
apps.
Yeah, I use Aweber. I'm a big Aweber fan. I've wrote a newsletter for about almost 3 years now. For other things, though, not for my store, which I am actually going to start doing one for my store. But I like Aweber. To me, it's the simplest one. But you can use MailChimp as well. And Respond. What's that other one?
Get Response.
Are 3 good ones. Aweber, I just think, is the simplest. But MailChimp has an app.
MailChimp's
Yeah,
free.
MailChimp right
free,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that to second that is that MailChimp right now integrates into your Shopify store.
Yeah.
And they have a whole layout that's for abandoning carts,
that's cool.
for top sellers. Like they have a whole structure set up. So you actually don't have to add all these additional apps. And MailChimp is free.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just found that out over the weekend. I thought that was really awesome. So, and it already has its own templates and things that you can choose from.
Awesome.
Yep. All right, guys, so we are now at the top of the hour, and hopefully this has offered a ton of value to you guys. If you are new into the group, we'd recommend, like Amber had mentioned before, go to the top of this group page, and you will see a pinned post. Click on that, and you'll be able to start following along with all the training starting at day 1. You can also go into the files section, and there is a link for notes. Anything else that you guys want to add?
Nope,
Nope.
that's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Bye. Thank you.